Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and we've got another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video today with our Set 15 Datacron Analysis. I usually like to put these videos out right as we start to kind of gear towards farming. This one is a little bit later just because I had a really busy week, but it also probably provides some key insights on like what seems like it's going to work. Obviously, we'll tailor this a little bit more as we know like the different game modes, but I like to try and focus most of these on GAC as that's probably a more broadly applicable thing. So here we go, guys. Set 15. So I always like to break down the stats first just to show you guys where we're kind of at. You can't see crit chance because of my face, but it is 70%. For crit avoid, we have 100%. For accuracy, we have 120%. For armor pen, we have a whopping 440%, which is just wild. For offense, we have 70%. And then for crit damage, we have 100%. So those are our stats. Like I said, I like to bring that in because it usually tries to, you can kind of figure out where we want our stats to kind of move into. Okay, so I normally kind of skip over this because the farming strategy is usually the same. It's usually try, like your first week of conquest, it's like go ahead and try and get some datacrons so that way you don't, just completely wipe out your data cache. We got an increase up to 60 million now, which is amazing. For those that go really heavy with crons, you will still hit your cap, but it becomes much later on and you have actually quite a bit of data cache to use. So that changes it a little bit. The other thing is, the first week, usually if you're like a hardcore guy, you will usually kind of get to the point where you can start to farm Sector 4 materials, which will allow you to continue to upgrade datacrons that you've basically preloaded via like your shard shop currency and like your dusting and stuff like that. So you're trying to get to Sector 4 as soon as possible. So with this, we are returning back to bulk, right? With set 15, it's much, I don't remember the exact set if it's set 9 or set 10, but it's the light side, dark side, 15%, max health protection for whatever faction ally. I don't know if they fixed it because last time it just sort of did it automatically. Like they're just like, it didn't matter. But yeah, anyways, it is bulk season as I put in here. So as kind of like, obviously I'd like to tailor these videos for everyone. This is the best season for you. If you don't normally go hard on datacrons for whatever reason, this is the season for you to maybe change that if you want to be successful and if you want to put the least amount of effort into getting the max amount of return. And why is that? It's because like with just the level 3 on many of the datacrons, if you are able to land the bulk, you will be better than my alt is usually in K2, and there are many people that do not have datacrons on their squads. So if you are trying to get into K2, if you are trying to get into or like push past where you are right now in GAC, datacrons is probably the way that you're going to do it, because for the large majority of players, they are like mods and most people won't want to put any time or effort into it. So any time or effort that you put into this will be a net positive. It's going to kind of, you're going to definitely reap those rewards for any sort of effort that you put into this, right? So again, if you're just trying to go past a hurdle, this is a really good season to do it because again, you don't actually have to go super hard. You don't need to get like a ton of data cache. You don't need to go up, beyond like level 3. Just being at having the datacron is good enough because you can get to level 3 and hopefully you can get a few that land on bulk stats. So, but if you were to go serious on this, your breakdown is going to be like, if you were to farm 30 crons, like 14 would be light side bulk stats, 14 would be dark side, and maybe there'd be like one potency per faction kind of thing. The first conquest, like, again, if you're kind of like a hardcore, or if you're just looking to like improve upon where you're at, 10 to 15 crons with the right L3 will it's going to skyrocket you, because like I said, most people won't do it. So, you know, take that as you will. You know, share this to your guild so that way they can get it into it. Obviously, the more people that know about it, the more people that are going to push and do this. But I'm telling you, 90% of the people won't do this. So you'll be all right. Maybe not 90%, but it is pretty crazy. So yeah, for like the low effort conquester, this should be relatively easy, and it's going to set you up for a good season in PvP. Once you have a good base, you should focus on select key ones to upgrade to L6 and L9. This is usually different. Like I said, normally we kind of identify like the L6s and L9s that we just kind of upgrade immediately. And then we kind of like go back and like, okay, like what else do we need? This one, I feel like if you just go in with the low effort, I'm just going to get a ton of them, you are going to overwhelm your opponent with stats. So yeah. So this is the part where I usually break down like, okay, like Galactic Legends are the most important squads that are inside of our game. But so I like to do like a little bit of analysis just to try and give people, I've heard like the term shopping list before, right? I like to try and figure out which ones we're going to need. So right now, Rey is running a current meta of season 14. There's multiple options: stacker offense, you know, the resist or the tenacity one. Really with set 15, we'd be looking at bulk, and that's pretty much it. There's some creative things because Rey is just a light side leader, right? So like I've seen Rey with like Jar Jar Binks, except for, you know, that's like stacker offense, so we wouldn't gain that benefit. But yeah, there's tons of things that you can do with Rey. She's always going to be Rey. Secondaries, right? We're going to really want to focus on offense. If you can get 50% offense with Rey's ult, like awesome. And crit avoid, honestly, too, I think is an underrated stat here. If you can prevent people from critting your team when they have inspiration and you can't remove it, yeah, like you can get those JTRs that are like invincible. You can boost Rey's ult damage up like crazy. So yeah, those would be like my two that I'd be going for. Is it better than the current meta? No, I would stay with set 14. That being said, though, if you know some guys are just turning 4 million GP and this will be their first chance of going at it, this isn't a bad set for her. All right, now SLKR. Now, man, all those people that bought those bundles, the Lightspeed bundles, you guys are about to just get an absolute treat with First Order. They're going to be absolutely insane. The current meta right now is kind of mixed between a season 13 doubt. You know, there's not, you can kind of do quite a few things with doubt. Anything that with turn meter trains without like a hux, like you can really stop, which has led SLK to being it's expanded his role as a leader. But then there's also the season 14 dark side allies. But for this cron set that he's gonna want obviously the bulk. There is really no bad level 6. There's just less good ones, right? Like I think probably the worst one that I can remember was like the counterattacks, but you can't dispel those. You can't stop them basically unless you stun the rest of the team. But getting counterattack just feeds SLK's ult. Like I said, there's just not really like a bad one. There's just less good ones. Obviously, the main one that I would go for is the big wall of text. I also think that defense to offense conversion is also going to be pretty incredible. For level 9, again, all of them are good. First Order SF TIE Pilot is really broken. I call it pretty neat here, but I like SOKRs as well. I think like that's just a ton of damage to add to a guy that can do AoEs like kind of crazy. And I think Foss also has his place too. I think for secondaries, you're going to want Armor Pen to penetrate the armor. And then crit damage and offense. I kind of switch between the two. I like crit damage a little bit more because the stats range a little bit higher. But you're not necessarily guaranteed to always be able to crit the enemy. So offense is also pretty sweet. Is it better than the current meta? Yes, absolutely. Season 15 for the win with anything regarding First Order. All right, JML. So current set is set 14 with loads of protection. For level 3, we'd go bulk or maybe the potency increase there. For level 6, we got the GR ability block. It would be nice for guys like GMY or something like that, whoever you might have in there. That one's just like a really underrated one. Like getting ability blocked is pretty like amazing. When you're able to constantly spam it too. There's no really applicable level 9 for secondaries. I said offense, but it's just not really super important because most of the damage is going to be coming from your Jedi lessons. Is it better than the current meta? Nope. I would stick with season 14 loaded with protection. That's the one that I'd go with. Okay, for C. Current meta is weird. I mean, like, C is just in a weird spot. Bane was supposed to kind of come in, but Bane's kind of doing his own thing for 90% of the counters. So C is just weird. He's still kind of doing what he'd been doing before. So I guess his current meta is like a Datacron or really just anything that's adding health to him. So we got that covered now with the level 3. There's no really applicable level 6 or 9. For offense or for secondaries, I'm saying offense because there's a good amount of health steal with C. Also, you know, you can really kind of increase, you know, some of those other guys' offense with, you know, that could be on his team. And I think that's going to kind of tailor this back into what is C going to do? Well, I think, again, just like it was back in season 9 or 10, that you're going to have actually some viability on defense. Again, kind of good damage for crit damage here to keep some stuff off meta. Crit avoid also too, maybe to keep the Sith alive longer. Is current better than, or is it better than the current meta? I'd say yes, just because I think it kind of more clearly defines what he can be used for. And I think he has more defense viability, like I said. For Lord Vader, Season 13 Datacron with the Empire defense to offense is the current meta, but right now, you know, if you were to make one for Season 15, I'd say bulk. And then you could have some Inquisitor potential here, right? I think the Wall of Text would be pretty cool. Level 9 is pretty legit. Or Seven Sisters, just because Seven Sisters is kind of a pain to deal with when he's under Lord Vader, because if you're trying to like do the bounty hunter off meta, she will just end up dodging basically everything. For secondaries, it's really just offense again, just loads, mauls damage. Is it better than the current meta? I think it's better than set 14. It's not better than set 13, but that's obviously dusting away. Okay, so Galactic Legends JMK. Current meta is like usually a Jedi damage plus Kit Fisto. I think for this one, obviously we're going to go with bulk. For level 6, we're going to go with the prod up Wall of Text because most people are running Padme with that. And then level 9, if you have the Padawan, Obi-Wan, cool, or Padme, either one. For secondaries, I said offense. Obviously, it just helps buff the damage. Eventually, Cat will just decide to kill people at like her will. Is it better than the current meta? I don't know. It's tough to say, but I think yes. Because the current meta is actually really good too. So I think there's probably trade-offs. That's the best way of putting it. Galactic Legends Jaba. Current meta is usually a Datacron to stop like Imperial Troopers and that stuff. So level 3 will be Darkside Bulk. No applicable 6 or 9. Secondaries, offense or crit damage for the thermal damage. And it's pretty simple. Is it better than the current meta? There's really nothing for them in, that should say set 14. as set 13 is the Datacron one. But set 14 doesn't really have a ton for them, so I kind of say yes. Galactic Legends Leia. So season 13 protection up is the current meta. We would definitely be going with bulk here as well. Level 6. If you use like Captain Rex in there, like again that ability block might be pretty cool for the Galactic Republic. No real applicable level 9. For secondaries, I would look at offense and crit damage again. Just watch as Drogon kind of does his thing and just shoots people out of the team. Is it better than the current meta? Yeah, because I don't think there's really much in season 14 for Leia. Season 15 I think is better. So here's again a little bit of like a shopping list of like some non-galactic legends. For GI, if you don't have like Third Sister right now, I would definitely go with Darkside Bulk. That doesn't change with this. I think I would definitely go Wall of Text for the Purge, and then level 9 with Ninth Sister. Now, I don't know if that Ninth Sister Kron is really, really good. I don't know if it's going to replace anything within the Reva squad. I could see it potentially maybe taking out, I don't know, someone like Fifth Brother maybe. I really don't know. I haven't thought too much about it, but it's really, really good. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did end up bringing out someone from the Reva lineup. Again, kind of Phasma, just because First Order is just going to be ridiculous. You want your bulk, you want your wall of text or defense to offense. I think this is where Foss probably has his best shot. And then offense and AP, just so that way you can make your Red Trooper kind of hit pretty hard. Now, a lot of these are non-Galactic Legends or Galactic Republic. Now, I didn't put in Gungans. Only I think 2,300 people have Gungans. So if you're one of those guys, I think it's pretty obvious too. Like as I've looked at them, there's really only 2 options on the level 9. Everything else is kind of the same. But we'll just go quickly over. So Padme for those non-JMK users, again, you're gonna want to go bulk. It's everyone's bulk, right? You'll want the protection up, like long text, and then Padme, obviously, and then offense, CD, and AP. Again, you just kind of want your hitters hitting, right? Like this is sort of what Padme does. A lot of her damage will come through courage, but for like those AoEs from Jedi Knight Anakin, right? Like that's what you kind of want. For Gas, man, he's gonna be so good again, guys. Like I'm so excited. You guys know how I love to do some pretty ill-advised things with Gas 501st, but definitely go light side bulk here. Go with a 50 or 75% reduction in damage. There's no real applicable level 9. You're gonna want some offense, some crit damage, some armor pen, right? Like all the good things. He's gonna, I think he'll be set to kill Galactic Legends again, which is very exciting. For Omni Qui-Gon Jinn teams, I think you're gonna want the bulk. You're going to want the 75% reduction. I think this is what's going to end up helping you against Bad Batch. And then there's no real applicable level 9. But again, you know, if you're going to want to try and at least steal as much banners, go with offense, go with the crit damage, go with armor pen. So even if you do lose, maybe you get giving them a 60 or something like that. Now, conversely, with Bad Batch, I think you're going to want the light side bulk or the potency. And again, I think you're going to want the 75% reduction. So that way, hopefully, if Jedi Knight Anakin comes out of his stealth or out of his stun and he wants to hit someone or does do an AoE, hopefully you can survive it. And then I think for level 9, you want tech. And then for stats, offense, crit damage. I thought about even maybe potentially doing crit avoidance, but nothing's guaranteed that you're going to stop Anakin from doing his big AoE and critting still, so I don't know if it's worth it. But anyways, guys, that kind of covers like the initial shopping list. Hopefully at least tailors you and gets you into a good spot on what you should be looking for. Hopefully it helps with the farming strategy and all that good stuff, guys. But I appreciate you guys all coming out and watching. you guys haven't subscribed yet to the channel, be sure that you guys have done that, as it greatly helps me out. Give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.